Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Jamie the Crafty DIY Guy. Welcome back to my channel. Now, I am super excited about today's video because this is a collaboration with Annalee Ashby DIY. Now, if you don't already know Annalee Ashby DIY, then you will definitely fall in love with her and her Instagram channel and her YouTube channel. She is fantastic at crafting and creating, and she is a master when it comes to power tools. She's also really, really good at thrift flips. So we are going to showcase both of our skills in that realm on this video today. Also, before we get started, I want to say thank you, of course, to my subscribers, short-termers, long-termers, everybody in between. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to bringing you more great collaborations. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, maybe YouTube even just recommended the channel to you, hopefully you'll stick around and become a subscriber. All right, guys, let's get into the video. Now, as I mentioned, Annalee Ashby DIY is an amazing person. Her channel is so creative. She does some amazing crafts, some amazing thrift flips, and just a lot of great DIYs. You can follow her on YouTube and on Instagram at Annalee Ashby DIY. All right, everyone, and for my first project, this isn't totally a thrift flip. This is more of a, I went to a salvage yard and I grabbed some wood, and it was $1 for a handful. And I was kind of digging around and I found these old fence posts, and I thought that they could be perfect for a DIY project. Now, they had these little short squatty ones, but I was actually interested in some longer ones. So I was able to get 3 different sizes, and I think they're going to be perfect for my DIY project. So I'm a little bit of a bonehead here. Don't know what happened, but the footage for what I did with these is actually gone. So I took my 3 fence posts, and all I did was just nail a small square to the bottom of them. And that square, as you can see, is kind of helping them to stand upright. Now I'm going to take them and I'm going to spray paint them this bright, kind of vibrant forest green color. And I'm doing that because it's actually coordinating with my patio, which you are going to see a patio reveal in an upcoming video. Now, also the part of the footage that disappeared was when I drilled the holes in the top of these fence posts to create these cute, adorable little votive holders. How cute are these out on the porch? They can take the weather. It doesn't matter if they get rained on. The votives are going to be super easy to change out, and it is going to add a great pop of color to my deck. Now, my next DIY is this metal piece that I picked up at Goodwill. It was $1.99, and when I saw this, I immediately thought about a very cool hanging lamp. I initially really liked that see that extra kind of wire that's hanging there on the bottom there? I liked it at first and was thinking I could do some tassels or something from it, but that's not really my style, and I'm actually going to keep this in my own home. So I am going to remove that, and it's a little hard to cut through at first, but then once I do kind of get a good grip on there, it does pop out of there pretty easily. And then I can just kind of go through and, yeah, this little corner right here is being a booger bear. This one is being tough. But as you will see, I will eventually squeeze through there, and it does kind of pop off. That's sometimes very hard to do with some of these projects. But then look and check out how easily it just twists right off. Like, it doesn't even make sense. So I'm just going to go through now and just kind of clean up some of those edges just so I don't have any sharp edges. And then my idea was to take that hanging light kit that I have and that Edison bulb that you see off to the side there, and I'm going to create a really cool lamp. Now, I was going to spray paint this a dark black color, or even like I kind of have that steel color outside that I really like too. And I played around with it and decided that I was going to spray paint it black. But then I thought I should probably make sure that this light kit will fit through here. And I just picked this up at Michael's. I've had this light kit forever. I use it for a couple different projects all the time. And as you can see, it fits perfectly through there. And I love the way that that's resting on top of there as well. So I am going to use that. So now, of course, I'm going to use this Edison bulb as well. That's kind of an oversized bulb, and I think it's going to look really, really cool in there. So now I'm going to take it all apart because I'm going to go outside and paint this. I certainly didn't want to paint it and then figure out, oh, it doesn't fit. So after I go through and I pull all of this cording out and get ready to go take it outside, I literally get out there and I'm like, nope, nope. I love the color. I love that kind of oil rub bronze color. And I decided that I was going to keep it that exact same color because you know what? This fits perfectly within my decor scheme. It fits perfectly in the room that I want to put this in. And I'm going to leave it. So it's not much of a DIY. It's actually really, really simple. But as you can see, it is such a cool way to make a very cool light fixture. Screwing in that light bulb was about the hardest thing. And what's great about that cording that I grabbed also is that it does have an on-off switch on the lower part of the cording. So here it is in the guest bedroom, and there's an awkward zoom in on it. And I love the way that this looks. It is the perfect light that is hanging right above the daybed. The daybed that's in this room is kind of in a tight little corner. There's not really a room for a nightstand or anything. So I want my guests to be comfortable when they're there, and I want them to have a light that they can easily just reach up and turn off and on with. So how cute did that turn out? I guess all the lights were really speaking to me at Goodwill because I also grabbed this one while I was there. Now, this one was one that looks like it was a light fixture that would hang into the wall and be hardwired in there. But then it also had this cord where you could plug it in as well, and I didn't know really what was going on with it. I did try it. It did have a light bulb in it, and I switched it out in the store. It's not working. So I am going to add one of these puck lights. This is a puck light that I actually picked up on Amazon, and it has a remote. So this is going to be perfect for my bedroom or for my craft room. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm going to do with it quite yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is just start to take all of this apart because obviously that kind of long rod that kind of hides the cord and all those kind of miscellaneous wires in the back, I'm not going to be using any of those. So there's really no need for me to keep any of those. And it's actually not going to fit with the aesthetic. So all I'm going to do is just kind of start taking this apart. I'm going to grab my little screwdriver from Dollar Tree and literally just start kind of working my way into taking this apart. Some of those screws were stripped, so it was a little challenging, and I had to end up grabbing some Lineman Pliers and just kind of twisting it that way and working it back and forth, then kind of jiggling and shaking it and saying lots of inappropriate words, and just really had a little bit of a tough time at first trying to get this loose. But then once everything did loosen up, everything fell off of here pretty easily. Now, for those wires, I told you I'm not going to use any of those. We're not hardwiring this at all. And I am going to be taking this entirely off of this wood base. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of those wires. And then I am going to take that bulb out that's not even working anyway and get rid of that, put it aside, get rid of the shade, remove that as well. What I loved about this shade though is that it does screw on to the actual center, and it has that center piece there as well, which is going to help not only keep that shade on, but I'm going to reverse it, and it's going to help keep our puck light on there as well. Now, for this wood base, I loved this wood base. It definitely had a very cool vibe to it. I love this kind of reclaimed wood look that it gives me. And again, just going to start taking it off from the base and working my way to get that separated, because I am going to take that lamp arm outside and we are going to be spray painting that. And again, just kind of working your way with these, and eventually everything will start to come off, and then you can remove that arm and take it outside. So once I took it outside, I decided to spray paint it in my flat black from Rust-Oleum. I love this paint. I let it dry, and then I flipped it over and painted the other side as well. While everything was drying outside, I did go back inside and start working on the wood piece. I loved the way that this wood looked. You can see it kind of looks like planks, and I decided first to go ahead and just sand it down really well and just make sure that it was nice and clean. I originally was going to just keep it this kind of weathered look, which would have been really, really cool in like a nautical kind of vibe. But because this is going to go into my craft room, I did decide that last minute. I am going to make this just a little bit more modern looking. I was going to say preppy looking. I don't know what that even means in furniture and accessories. But again, just go ahead and sand this lightly. I'm doing it mainly with the grain and then trying to do some kind of against the grain as well. And then once I had everything sanded, I did just go ahead and take my cloth and just kind of dust it off and make sure that there was no sawdust or no wood that was left over, no wood dust. And how much wood dust would a wood dust? I don't know if that even made sense. But now I am going to go ahead and take some antiquing wax. And I lied. This is actually not antiquing wax. This is my Min wax. This is a tinted wax that they have. And yes, I put a ton of it on there. And the reason why I did that is because this wood is extremely dry. And what I like about that Minwax wood, it's a water-based wood, but it will also really, really help to almost hydrate that wood, and it gives it a gorgeous, gorgeous color. So I'm just going to completely cover this on all sides that are going to be facing out from the wall, even picking up some of those drips that are happening and using my brush there. And then once I have everything kind of literally coated, don't you think it looks like chocolate cake? I am then going to take my cloth and then just start wiping away some of that excess wax and or that excess stain. I use the Waverly Antiquing Wax so much, I think I'm just going to start referring to everything as wax. Anyway, the Min Wax is working really, really well, and I'm loving the color that is starting to develop there. And the more you rub it, you're going to get some lighter and some darker veining and stuff, and that's just because of the age of the wood and the type of wood it is. Now, once I've got the color set and I'm happy with that, I am going to take my heat gun and just kind of help speed up that process. Because this is water-based, the heat gun actually works really, really well on the stain for this. Now that we've got everything all done and everything is dried from outside, I am going to go ahead and start working on the light fixture part of this. Now, all I'm going to do is just put some AAA batteries in this particular one. And then for the remote, it just has a little plastic tab in there. It's kind of like a little battery, kind of like a large wash battery that's already in there. So that was great. I didn't have to get that. And then what's really cool about this is that, as you can see, the remote changes it not only to multiple colors and literally every color under the rainbow is available with this, but then you can also strobe it and you can, dim it. You can do all kinds of fun things with it. Now we are going to take everything inside and start to assemble it again. So I'm going to take my bracket, I'm going to put it back in the wood, and I am going to make sure that that hole that was at the kind of lower part of that wood piece is now at the other end there, so you don't really see that either. And I want to kind of hide that, with the lampshade, so it's going to be great. Now I'm going to go ahead and just screw that arm right back onto that wood block. As you can see, the back of that wood block, I didn't even touch it with the antiquing wax or the stain. I said it again, with the Min Wax stain, there's no need to really, in my opinion. It's hanging up against the wall. Nobody's going to see it. It's totally fine. Now, for the front pieces on either side of the arm, this is where that little metal ball was. And so what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take 2 wood dowel rods and I'm just going to cut them down. These are actually skewers. These are like the bamboo skewers that you can get like in the kind of like the kitchen section, I guess it is, at Dollar Tree, or where the picnicking stuff is. And I am going to go ahead and cut these down to make them a little bit shorter because there's no need for them to be quite this long. And even this hole here, it's funny, the hole has some of that Min Wax in there, so I just need to poke through there with the end of the skewer, and then once I do, as you can see, it's fine. Now I've got the skewers down to the appropriate size, and I am going to add some hot glue into that hole. And then once I did that, I did test that bead out, and as you can see, that bead's going to fit perfectly. And the idea is I'm just going to leave a tiny bit of that skewer sticking out above the bead to make it look like that is kind of intentional. You can almost see like a little knob. It'll look like it's a decorative bead. And I'm not going to leave it unfinished, though, not to worry there. So I did add a little bit of hot glue down in there, and then just pulling up that skewer. And then I'm just going to cover it with some other mid wax that I have. This one is tinted in onyx, and it's great because it's kind of a muted black, very similar to the flat matte black that you see that I've sprayed the hardware with. And so once I've got everything all touched up and everything is dry, it's time to go ahead and start assembling our lamp back together. I started to put the lamp back together, and I just was not happy with the shade. I thought that it needed a little bit of something. So I had this leather ribbon that was left over. This is kind of that burgundy color one. I wish I had some of the brown or the black. I'm really missing the chocolate brown. I've completely used all of mine. Now I'm just going to take my ruler, and I'm just going an inch down and just making a little mark with my pen. And I'm doing that all the way around until those dots meet. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to have a marker for where I'm going to be placing my leather ribbon here, my faux leather ribbon. The only thing I wish I would have done is I wish I would have started gluing at the seam on the lampshade. And you'll see as I start spinning this around that I did not do that, and that was totally my bad. And, I was able to manipulate it and hang it on the wall appropriately where you don't really see that. But that would probably be the only thing that I would have done over again if I could redo this. And I did cut it a little bit short, so when I went to glue the ends together, they didn't match up exactly perfectly. So again, it's not going to be perfect all the time, and that's certainly all right. Then I went ahead and I added a second row of my faux leather ribbon just to kind of give this a little bit more of a contemporary look. And again, I am just kind of eyeballing this one since I've got the first row already set and in place. Now I can just go ahead and add that faux ribbon and then just adjust as I need to, working my way around again, kind of manipulating it. As you can see here, it does kind of move around a little bit before that glue dries, which is always nice. And again, just kind of working my way around, adding a little bit of hot glue every so often. And I'm going to have a beautiful striped lampshade like this. It almost gives it kind of a varsity print, which I'm really, really into as well now. I have a couple cardigan sweaters that I like that are like that, and I really like them. All right, so for the lampshade itself, I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of hot glue down here. To be honest, I don't know why I did this after I thought about it. I really didn't have to do this. The great thing is it's hot glue, so it's going to move. It's going to, you can take it off of here pretty easily. It's not going to be a problem. Now, where I did want to use the hot glue is, remember that center piece that you screw down to hold the lampshade on here. Now, I'm actually taking it and putting it on upside down. And the reason why I'm doing that is because it kind of creates a little bit of a cradle that will hold our puck light. So once I've got that into place, now I will add some hot glue to that. Now remember that puck light twists and the battery packet is removed that way. So gluing this down is not going to be a problem because you will easily be able to change out your batteries as you need to. And also because it's hot glue, so it's not permanent. Check this out. This is super fun. Now, you can push it manually like I'm doing here, and it'll change all kinds of lights. Or you can hang it on the wall and then use that great remote that comes with it. You can change the lights. You can dim it. You can let the colors pop. You can really do anything you want with it. But I am so happy with the way that this turned out. I really like this lamp. I think it's super classy looking. I love that double striping on the shade. I'm in love with the way that wood turned out with that mahogany min wax stain. And check out all the fun colors I can do with this light. Again, super, super happy with this one. This is probably one of my favorites. Hey, it's me again. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what your favorite projects were, and be sure to check out Annalee's video. The link is in the description box below. All right, guys, thanks. Bye.